Very good morning to all the students of class plus 1B. Beta, we have completed chapter birth. In detail, we have discussed everything, even the, you can say, textual questions, which is at the back side of the book. We have done that also. Some extra questions were required because very less number of questions they have given at the back. So this is a kind of quiz which you will be playing today with me, okay? Let me start with Ramanjeet. Ramanjeet, answer the first question. Birth of Susan's child was a turning point in Dr. Andrew's life. Do you agree? जल्दी से रमन सबकी टर्न आनी है ये नहीं कि कोई एक पर्सन बोलेगा every child will get the turn. So this is a quiz firstly, then I will discuss other questions also.
Ma'am, yes.
Absolutely. Okay, you are saying option A.
Yes, ma'am.
C. So this is the correct answer, Ramanjeet. Very good. Yes, this was a turning point, beta, in life of Dr. Andrew. Side by side, you need to tell me also what to write in this answer. ये तो MCQ हो गया. If you get this question as subjective, yes, Raman, इसका भी आंसर आपको ही देना है. Please tell. Answer this, Raman. How that child's birth was turning point in his life.
Point in Dr. Andrew's life because that incident taught him to keep his personal and his professional life separate, and he has to perform his duties wholeheartedly, ignoring the incidents that are happening in his personal life.
That is secondary thing, Raman. First and primary thing is that he achieved something individually without the help of any other doctor. That was his first case and he was successful. He's not only saved only the life of the mother, he saved the stillborn child also. So 2 lives he saved and he had a sense of achievement. And yes, and this incident also let him change his mind from his personal life. So that definitely is a turning point in his life. And actually, you can mute yourself. After how many years were Joe and Susan blessed with a child? Fine. This question goes to Drishti. सबकी टर्न आ रही है बेटा, सबने पार्टिसिपेट कर. Please answer, Drishti.
20 years.
So Drishti says, let me check. See, yes, correct answer 20 years. So इसका कोई subjective answer नहीं है. Yes, the question can be why Morgans were, so excited for the birth, because definitely every couple will be, excited to have the first child, but the excitement increases in the case of Morgans as they were going to have a child after 20 long years. They waited for this precious moment and here comes the moment. That's why they were excited. Agar aisa aa jaye to then. Third question, beta, please. You have to just sit and enjoy this thing and listen carefully. Kuch main likhne ko nahi keh rahi hu, nothing else. Just listen carefully and you're preparing your chapter. Why did Andrew get oblivious to all the work he had done in Blandly? Why he become like this? Itna kaam usne kiya tha Blandly mein, the way place where he was living. He worked with Dr. Edward Page also, as you remember. Because he got all hopeless, because he did something extraordinary that night, because he was leaving Blandly, because he got tired. So, Diljit, answer this question. गलत हो जाएगा कोई बात नहीं, but you have to answer this.
I'm A option.
Because he got. Are you sure? Any other would like to answer? See, he was something extraordinary he had done. Oblivious is that. Fine. He got a. Some students are still joining. Anjali beta, never expected from you to join later. Okay. Anjali, if you're listening to me, please join well in time, okay? So beta, oblivious का meaning exactly is that when you are not this word, you know, अगर जिसको इस meaning थे, अभिजीत को इसका meaning declare था, that's why she could not answer this. Oblivious is not noticing what is happening around you. जब आपको पता ही ना हो, you become so, you know, obsessed with that idea or thing or action. So why did Andrew get oblivious to all the work he had done in Blenheim? उसको अपना कुछ भी, because he did something extraordinary that night, so he became obsessed with his work only that night. Next question is, what does author refer to as a miracle? Author has called an event a miracle. What was that? Turn goes to Gursimran. सबकी टर्न आ रही है, जो नहीं बोलेगा वो एब्सेंट है. Yes.
Ma'am, life getting into a stillborn.
So life getting into the stillborn is called the miracle. Morgan family welcoming a child, no. Susan getting consciousness, no. This question is clear cut. This is the correct answer. Fine, because the other options are not, you can say, smart options or not even equivalent. No confusion is there in this question. Why did the child become slippery in Andrew's hand? Next turn goes to Mitali.
Ma'am, because of constant juggling between waters.
Because of constant juggling between waters. Yes. So he used that methodology by putting in the hot and cold water. Fine, alternate ways. So this is the correct answer. Well done. This question में subjective होएगा. I will ask you to give subjective answer also. After trying for 15 minutes, Andrew felt dash. Yes, Manjot, answer this.
Ma'am, hopeless.
Hopeless. Yes, because when he tried for 15 minutes and no response was coming at all, he was so hopeless at that time. But yes, he tried again. That is a separate thing. Next question. What all things did Andrew use in the treatment? Hot and cold water, basins and towels, blanket, all of the above. Ishnur, answer this thing, beta.
Ma'am, all of the above.
Yes, all things were used. He has used, even यहाँ पे अगर लिखा होता ना, ewer and fine other pots and all he has used. They have mentioned the things in detail over there. So yes, all of the above is the correct answer. अगर आपको list आ जाए तो you should remember कि what are the things which were used by Andrew. So bases, towels, blankets, ewers, pots, ठीक है? Anything you can write, whatever is mentioned in the textbook. What did Andrew conclude from the whiteness of the child? ये हमने बहुत अच्छे से discuss करा था, if you remember. Sahajpreet, answer this. What did Andrew conclude from the whiteness of the child?
Ma'am, option B, that he suffered from lack of oxygen.
Yes. Correct answer. Whiteness means lack of oxygen, and pink and color should mean that it's proper oxygen it is getting. So that he suffered from, and you know, this is very common these days. A child is born and immediately he is being referred to that they give oxygen. And even sometimes, you know, because of the cases, because of lack of purity in the air and eating habits of the parents and mothers specifically. So oxygen ka jo cases hai, they are like increasing day by day. In the dilemma he faced, what did Andrew do? Dilemma means confusion, state of confusion. What did Andrew do? Check upon Susan first, check upon the child first, ran away, left it to handle the midwife. Turn goes to Raghav.
Ma'am, he checked upon Susan first.
Yes, so it was the decision of the doctor to check the mother first because that was like child was born still. So he thought, let me handle the mother first. So correct answer. How was the newborn child? Healthy, lifeless, underweight, anemic. Anemic is like loss of blood. So we have Harman answer this question, beta.
Option B.
Option B, lifeless. Yes, lifeless or stillborn अगर लिखा हो तो वो भी same है. Clear? Andrew decided to dash at Joe's house. Sleep, study, stay, eat. Hanur, answer this.
Stay. Stay.
Yes, stay, because there was time in the birth of the child, so he decided to stay as parents were also worried. When Andrew approached, Susan was accompanied by her mother and Joe, father, midwife, mother-in-law. Japanpreet, answer this.
Midwife.
Yes, midwife is the correct answer. आज सबकी turn आ रही है. Everybody will participate. Now we are not having MCQs here, but yes, I have something else for you. We will keep on learning. Some other questions are there. Yes, firstly, why was Joe Morgan waiting for Andrew? किसकी turn नहीं आई है आज? Only one child is left. Arshpreet. Arshpreet, can you hear me? Diksha की turn भी नहीं आई है, I guess. Arshpreet and Diksha. Diksha, would you like to answer this? Why was Joe Morgan waiting for Andrew? जिसको आंसर नहीं देना आएगा, it means that child is absent. वो present नहीं लगेगी. You're not sitting there. Okay. They both will be marked absent. And one thing more, I have got complaints from the other subject teachers. In my class, the maximum students are coming. But in the class of chemistry and physics and bio, you people are becoming irregular. Your attendance is being taken by every teacher. So I'm getting it on the basis of that, you will be marked present. Make sure. ये नहीं कि सिर्फ class teacher की class attend करोगे तो present लग जाएगी. There are students who are having short lectures at the end after 31st or 1st or 2nd Feb. I will also, put up the names in the group, those who are having shortage of attendance. So then don't say कि मैम मैंने तो सारी classes लगाई थी. So be very, very particular in appearing in the tests also. आपका जो test schedule मैंने आज फिर से डाला है आपके group में, please have a look. Whatsoever test is coming on your way, please appear in that. You people are not taking it seriously. So when it comes to your tests also, or when it comes to your attending the classes, okay, I know that you people are having tuitions and all, but that doesn't make any difference. Your school education is the first priority. That is complementary, tuitions and secondary. Fine. So don't take it for granted. This is going to help you in the long run. Every teacher is efficient enough who's teaching you. Fine. Don't take it casually. This is the last time I'm asking you. Otherwise, parents will be informed. So yes, first question is, why was Joe Morgan waiting for Andrew? Joe Morgan and his wife, that they had nearly married for 20 years and they were expecting their first child. So it was like midnight when she started having pains, and Joe was worried and walked up and down, and he waited for Andrew to reach Brian Gore, see that he can take Andrew to his place. Okay, this is the name of the place, Brian Gore. Andrew now felt dull and listless. Give two reasons why he was dull and listless. On Joe Morgan's call, Andrew, along with Joe, set out for Joe's house. The night air was cool and deep with quite mystery, but Andrew felt dull and listless because it was past midnight and he was reflecting about his own relationship with Christine, the girl he loved. So two reasons, beta. Firstly, it was midnight Lack of sleep was there. He was very tired, and at that hour he was called by Joe Morgan. Secondly, he had a bad evening with his girlfriend Christine, and he was having a lot of muddled thoughts in his mind, and he was not at all happy. So that's why he was tired and restless. So question number third is, what did Andrew notice as he entered Joe's house? When he entered the door of number 12, he saw a narrow stair which led up to a small bedroom. तो उसने देखा था narrow staircase था, small bedroom, clean but poorly furnished bedroom. Only oil lamp was burning. Mrs. Morgan's mother, a tall grey-haired woman of nearly 70, stout means strong, beta, elderly midwife waited beside the patient. So these two women were present. So this is eyewitnessed by him. What was the old woman's fear? How did Andrew reassure her? So you know that, when old, no, they have not mentioned this dialogue. Who will tell me? एक dialogue उसने बोला था. When old woman returned with a cup of tea, Andrew smiled faintly. He noticed the old woman, her wisdom and experience, and he was able to perceive that woman is afraid. He said that dash. आप बताइए कौन बताएगा जल्दी से? A dialogue is spoken by doctor to reassure Morgan's mother. क्या dialogue था वो, किसको याद है? Anybody raise your hand जल्दी से? राघव को याद है. Yes, Raghav.
Ma'am, that he will not leave. He
Yes.
is staying there.
Exact words ये नहीं है वैसे. Its answer is correct. Well done. Exact words थे, don't fret mother, I will not run away. Fine. Yes, Divdur wanted to speak, but I spoke before that. It's okay. ठीक है. Don't fret mother, I'll not run away. Question भी मैंने आपको लिखवाया था. Quite important. So that's why he used this word कि she should not get scared out of it. Yes. What were the only sounds that Andrew heard in the thick of the night? This is see, very petty and small information is given, and जो हम कभी ध्यान भी नहीं देते हैं while reading. But this is the art of reading. But when we read the chapter, that is why we read the chapter. Reading is very important. अगर हम chapter read नहीं करेंगे, सीधा हम story सुना दूँ मैं आपको. After that, you people will be so busy कि okay, story तो आती है, we will be able to do question. No, when we do reading, small details are mentioned in that. Andrew sat by the kitchen fire. He noticed that it was a still night. The only sound that he could hear was the crackle of embers in the fireplace. जब कोई आग जल रही होती है तो उसमें वो sparkles की आवाज आती है ना. The slow tick-tock of the wall clock and Morgan's footsteps as he moved to and fro in the street outside. Mr. Joe Morgan was so patient. A lack of patience was there, and he was impatient. He was walking down and up and down. उसके पैरों की आवाज आ रही थी. Tick-tock of the clock and crackle of embers in the fireplace. Please note down. Otherwise, we forget such words. What was weighing on Andrew's mind as he waited with the patient? Very important once again. I'm not going to, because answers are written on the side. Yes, now Divnur, you tell me the you can say names and what examples came to the mind of you can say our character Andrew when he was still waiting for that. He was having a cup of tea and he was waiting by the side of fireplace. क्या सोच रहा था वो?
Ma'am, he was thinking about Christine.
And something about marriages. I'm giving you hint also. What thoughts came to his mind about marriages and about other people whom he knew already? No idea? Dindu?
And he he thought about different couples and their marriages, some of them which were successful and some which were not.
Yes. So let me tell you the details now. Fine. Let's see. Andrew's thoughts were heavy and muddled. A lot of confusion was going on. एक तो Christine की thoughts नहीं जा रही थी. He was overpowered with the thoughts of Christine. The episode he had witnessed at Cardiff station still gripped him and made him gloomy. Cardiff station पे हुआ था वो जो that he met that girl and she left her. That's why he was sad. And then he thought of Bramwell, foolishly loyal to a woman. ये आपको learn करने पड़ेंगे names. He thought of a man named Bramwell. He was foolishly devoted to a woman and she further deceived Bramwell. Then he thought of Edward Page, the doctor under whose guidance he had been working. He tied the note to the shrewish Blodwen that he was also having failure in marriage. And then he thought of Derry, one of his acquaintances, living unhappily apart from his wife. Fine, ये तीन persons के name है जो आपको learn करने पड़ेंगे. Make sure you do it now. Fine. Firstly, आपको याद रखो उसका जो doctor था Edward Page. Fine. Secondly, Bramwell, who was foolishly devoted to a woman. And thirdly, Derry. So these three people have failure in relationships and marriages, and he thought of them and he was trying to conclude that means most of the people have failed marriages and failed relationship, and he was giving a kind of satisfaction to himself कि वो अकेला नहीं है जिसके साथ ऐसे हुआ है. There are many other people also, but even then he was not able to get rid of the thoughts about Christine. Maybe such thoughts were hovering over his mind. Why does the writer say that the old woman's meditation had pursued a different? Yes, but ये question जो आता होता है ना, children have no idea what to write. So I'm not going to ask anyone. You just read it. Why does the writer say that the old woman's meditation had pursued a different course? While Andrew was thinking about the futility of marriage and relationships, the old woman was thinking about her daughter. She was concerned about both the mother and the child. She said that her daughter Susan did not want chloroform if it would harm the baby. She really looked forward to having the child. Old woman's meditation had pursued a different course. Now, when old woman looked at Andrew, and she was able to make out that this man is lost in his own thoughts, and she interrupted in between and said that Dr. Susan did not want to get chloroform. तो वो उसको ये याद करवाती है, in between बताती है कि my daughter. So it means her meditation means her thoughts, they had taken up a different course. उसका कुछ और ही सोच रही थी वो. Then whether my child will be fine, whether my daughter will be fine, whether baby and mother will be okay. So yes, she was having a different thought. Obviously, she was not concerned about what doctor was thinking. She was concerned about her daughter and her the child which was about to take birth. Yes, Dalima caught. You can say Dalima was Andrew caught. How did he resolve it? यहाँ पे आप देखो question is so open-ended. You can write about Andrew was caught in the dilemma of Christine and the birth and all. No, जब वो when he was into the process of birth, he never thought of the girl. So professional he was. तो यहाँ पे clear cut answer है that he was struggling for the, you can say, child was born lifeless and he was इधर डालिमा कहाँ पे हुआ था कि पहले मदर को देखूं कि बच्चे को देखूं. So he was confused about that, whether to whom to save first. So but he, by using his presence of mind, when he saw that the child was still born and his duty is to save the person who is alive and about to die, when he thought that's why he overcame the dilemma instinctively. उसको अंदर से ही feel हुआ कि I should save the mother first. He gave an injection to the mother to strengthen her heart. And he handed over the child to the nurse. and diverted his attention towards Susan Morgan. How did he revive the mother? जिसमें आपने वो process बताना है पूरा. Lady was collapsed, she was pulseless. Andrew smashed a glass ampule, instantly injected the medicine, flushed down the hypodermic syringe, and worked ceaselessly, without stopping, without a pause. Without a pause, he was working continuously to revive the almost lifeless woman. After a few minutes of intense effort, her heart strengthened and she was safe. That's how he saved. What did Andrew think was wrong with the child? It was a perfectly formed, beautiful baby boy, head lolled on the thick neck. Uska head gira hua tha ek taraf. Limbs were boneless, no movement in the hands. He knew that whiteness was there. Whiteness is a sign of asphyxia pallida, which is lack of oxygen. So this is medical term you need to remember. He thought of the treatment. He remembered being used at the Samaritan. When he was working at Samaritan with Dr. Edward Page, he remembered one of the cases. So he applied the same methodology to save the stillborn child. What was the treatment given to the child? So very important law, you can say, for short and long both. Anjali, आपकी टर्न नहीं आई आज. हाँ जी बताइए. Treatment given by Andrew to the child. How he saved the child. क्या करा था उसने? जल्दी जल्दी बताइए अंजलि.
Ma'am, he did a water treatment that he able to help save the child by plunging plunging him into a hot and cold water, and he also rubbed the child with a rough towel, crushing his little chest, and after that, finally, the child was able to revive.
There is difference between crushing and pressing. Okay, yes, good way, but we need to be very particular about our vocabulary. He was pressing the pygmy chest. Okay, P से याद रखना, pressing the pygmy. Pygmy means small. So he was pressing the sorry, pygmy chest of the baby, and joyous bubble came out from his one of the nostrils, and mucus also came out of his nostrils after the process. जो अंजलि ने describe किया बिल्कुल सही है, उसके बाद में ये add करना है. आपने clear? Hot and cold water in alternate ways. Then just like a juggler, he was doing this. Textbook language है सारी आपकी. Then he used a rough towel also against his pressed his pygmy chest and nostrils में से bubble बाहर आता है. Then mucus also, and the child heaved a sigh, started breathing. Fine. See, जैसे जैसे हम आगे जा रहे हैं, questions आपके difficult हो रहे हैं. See, he had no premonition. Premonition means पहले से ही idea हो जाना. Pre means पहले. That this night would prove, you can say, unusual. Still less that it would influence his whole future in Bradley. What was the unusual event in the store for him? So this is again common question. So you will tell that when he reached Brian Core, he found Joe Morgan waiting for him, and then थोड़ा सा उसके बारे में बता के, then you will tell that how that event, that unusual event when he saved. This is not required जो इन्होंने mention करा है. Fine, premonition idea. So you will just jump into the unusual event पे आप ज़्यादा stress करोगे. Fine, that will be your answer. So we have, with this, we have completed chapter birth in detail. Please revise it. Next week आपका test होगा इसी chapter का. So make sure you prepare it. Have a nice day.